In this lab, we are going to carry out the steps of intrusive target search all the way to the point of finding weaknesses and trying to gain access. We got here a machine built for this lab. In the background, we are running the industrial IoT, the physical industrial IoT sensor and system, which was set up for this lab. And in this case, we will use the Nmap tool to conduct such activities. So either we open the terminal or open the Nmap. We are going to open a new terminal. And use the command like this. And we can either write a IP address of the target or write a range of the whole network. And here is that environment, that physical industrial IoT sensor and system, which was set up for this lab. And those are the data that are generated from that environment. And that environment, we will show it you here on the screen. And we have the IP, and we wanted to target this IP to find more information on the target. Remember, dash S, let's write the password. Remember, dash S _ P is that we are looking for the live systems. It looks for the live systems. And let's wait for the results. And as the results, we are seeing that we have this target. The host is up, and it has that IP address that we mapped, that we target. We seek to look more for live systems. And from here, you would build a target database. You would write everything what you identified on those targets and that database, and this helps you out through all the process from the footprint and reconnaissance to the results of the report of what you identified. Vulnerabilities, what you have gained access, and so on. So now we are going to look for ports for this target. And wait for the results. It will take a couple of seconds, and you would see that it identifies the ports, and you see here the attack surface, open ports. When you are doing network defense, you want to make sure mitigate or reduce those attack surface, and you do this by putting filters and control access to the certain points. Each one of these ports represents what we wanted to represent something, and we wanted to attack those ports. And now we want to do open port services commands, scripts, to run it and find. We have it here. We are seeing the SSH, HTTP, MySQL, and VNC port. And we wanted to try to see what are the open ports. What services are running on those open ports? Which services are related to those open ports, and this helps us to identify more information. And still, since we are building that our target database, we can include there also the attack surface and the versions and software discovered from this search of the services within those open ports. And you see here, we identified we have here version of the OpenSSH, Raspberry, Apache server version, MySQL version, and the protocol that is used for the communication with the sensor with the board of the Raspberry. And we have also here the OS information. And from this point, now we will do research, and we can do this by selecting 2 or 3 websites and see if those versions that we have identified have some kind of vulnerabilities or weaknesses. And now we will try to enumerate data from this target, and this perhaps will take longer. This we're going to extract a banner and run scripts by using nmap ng. As we mentioned, building our target database helps us very much to collect those information that we are identified step by step, and help us to identify the potential weaknesses that we had within our infrastructure, our organizational industrial infrastructure, and put filters, control access, security controls within those points that we have identified as a potential entrance of gaining access. Since it will take more time, let's try and open a new terminal and continue with the next. We got the information. And you see here we have enumerate some information around the environment, around those ports, services that are around those ports, and information on the enumeration process that we tried. And we have it here, the PHP version identified, and a lot of things that would help us further in the process. So now we will scan for everything. We will use a command that it will scan everything. It's -A, uppercase A, is the command that it will scan everything within the target. We can just hit the space bar, and it will show us what's the remaining progress of each activities that are going on in this full scan of everything. It's almost 80%. Almost done. And you see it scans everything, try to identify different information around the environment, of the target, and it shows also some statistics and trace route of the network of using port 80, TCP, and so on. And now we are going to use a scan that are usually used at the CTFs, capture the flag, or hackathons. We are going to use the NBT scan. To see if you're right, correct. And sometimes those results that are not very useful for our target that we wanted to achieve. So now we will use the NICTO, and we will try to gather information more as we can. NICTO is an vulnerability assessment tool, and it is a very good one. And let's try to see what information we could find on the target related to the vulnerabilities. -O, which would create an output file, NICTO HTML, and let's run this and see. And you see the NICTO starts the scanning and trying to identify information on our target. Like this, you conduct all those steps for your organization as you wanted to defend, to identify the possible potential entry points of hacking points. And at the end of this scan, we will show you we'll view you the result file in HTML. You see it identifies the server and some potential vulnerabilities. And those OSVDB are information that are identified by looking at the vulnerability databases, and you can very easily identify the potential vulnerabilities or weaknesses that this environment has. And all those OSVDB represents potential vulnerabilities. And the scan has finished. Now we will use the commands to open the results file. We will open as an HTML as we have generated Firefox NICTO HTML. We name it like this file, and have a better view of those information that we identified. And here you are seeing the lot of information about the target that we have scanned. All those information. From now on, you can look for potential exploit, and by using the Metasploit framework, you can go further and try to validate those exploits and try to have gain access. And you see all those represents potential vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Now, we are going to open a terminal and start the Metasploit framework and try to identify potential exploits, if we can find one. We will start first the service of the Metasploit. Let's type of and we will start the MSF console. And we just wanted to show the process of how it's do it, how it's conducted, those steps. And the whole main goal is to showing that process. And from now on, you can search for potential exploit that you wanted to validate for your target. And from that point, you can just start the process of validating, exploiting those potential vulnerabilities. And the Metasploit framework is going to be started soon. And the Metasploit is ready to be used. And from this point, we can just search for an exploit, writing a name. And here we have statistics on actual exploits that has this Metasploit. It's more than 2,000. And let's try and search for some kind of exploit. And those could be all the potential vulnerabilities that can be founded at Metasploit. If you just search PHP, since we have that PHP environment, you can see there are a lot of information, a lot of exploits for that particular exploit. And you see here is the third column is the rank. Rank shows how better is this exploit can be work, and you just need to check those, the excellent, great, and good, and try to exploit the potential. And you can just, if you wanted to use particular, for example, this 504 exploit, you just write it, use 504, and it will select for you the actual one that you wanted. And every time try to get more information on that particular exploit by typing info. And you have all the information on that particular exploit that you selected, 504, and all details, information, description, references, payloads, and everything. And we just wanted you to know, to show the process of the scanning methodology. Remember, exploitation is not 100% success. If you got lucky, it will work in the first day, in the first try. If not, try again in the second day and second attempt. Once you have the attack surface, you try to find that weaknesses, and for that weakness, you try to find vulnerabilities, and then look for exploits and try to get access. With this, we conclude the lab.